After an amazing trip to Miami and Biscayne National Park, we decided it was time to head west to Tampa, Florida. We drove Alligator Alley along the top of Everglades National Park, where we saw so many birds and alligators. I honestly lost track at over 60 alligators. We had a coffee break at Wolf Moon, which was a coffee shop we loved last time in Bonita Springs, Florida, where they have the best croissants and amazing coffee drinks as well. And then we wound up in Treasure Island for the night, watching fireworks on the beach to ring in the new year. With that, it was time to spend the day in Tampa and in a little small town just north of the city where Amy's mom happens to live. Good morning from historic Ybor City in Tampa, Florida. I loved this place when I came earlier this year, but Phil didn't get a chance to come with me, so I'm really excited to show him around for the day and bring you all along with us.
So we're gonna start off the day getting some delicious Cuban coffee, as if we haven't had enough already on this big Florida road trip. But if you're in the Cuban part of town, you gotta get some Cuban coffee.
You know. Do you see how cute this t-shirt is? I have been very low spend for the past year because I've been spending my money on experiences and not things, but this t-shirt is one that is really tempting me. All right, now that we have our coffees in hand, our plan is to go and get some lunch at Columbia Restaurant, which is like a rite of passage. It is one of Tampa's oldest Cuban restaurants, and honestly, it is delicious. There are tons of great options down here, but it's also New Year's Day, so a lot of places are closed.
They just brought us fresh baked Cuban bread. It is still hot, and they just told us if you need more butter, we'll bring it out. Oh man, that was so good.
If I'm honest, the one menu item I knew I wanted to get from Columbia is their famous 1905 salad that has been on the menu since the restaurant's inception. It is so good, and it has fresh ham and Swiss cheese and all kinds of olives and fresh homemade salad dressing. It is absolutely amazing.
The original.
Columbia is so good. We were all so full. I couldn't even finish my Cuban sandwich, but it was just a fun experience too, because our waiter told us several things that I didn't even remember hearing the first time. Like, this restaurant had one of the first air-conditioned rooms in the US, so he said tons of people would just like come and stand in the lobby because it was cool here. And it's actually also the first Spanish restaurant in the US too. So just a super cool place to come. Lots of history here and great food. This neighborhood really is just so cool. There's so much to see and do. It's so lively all the time. If you're coming to Tampa, a stop in Ybor City is definitely on the to-do list.
Sir, why did you cross the road? I need to know.
I wasn't going to get this, but Amy influenced me and I sampled several because they looked so good. This malted one tastes so strong of malt. I couldn't resist. You look like Uncle Lewis.
Yeah. Go get my stogie. The blessing. At one point in time, Tampa had over 200 cigar factories, and so we had to go and check out one of the hand-rolled cigar shops right in Ybor City.
And then the more blends, the stronger they usually are.
Awesome. I don't know what he was reading.
After a wonderful morning in Ybor City, we decided to head to downtown Tampa to visit their 2.5-mile Riverwalk. The Riverwalk winds through the downtown area with tons of shops and restaurants and connects different parks. We actually went on the other side of the Riverwalk so we could get free parking, so we just got some extra walking in to check out more of the city.
Riverwalk is actually really cool. There's tons of little parks and shops, and it's just such a nice place to come and watch the boats go by, especially whenever the weather is really nice like today.
Honestly, beautiful place to get out and enjoy the weather. And if you're in Tampa and not in Kentucky,
Yeah.
where it's cold right now and snowing. Even though we had just left the Riverwalk, we had not yet had our fill of waterfront views, and we were in the Tampa Bay area, so of course we needed to check out a spot that was on the bay. So we headed to Salt Shack, which is a spot that has great waterfront views and also delicious piña coladas, so of course it has me hooked immediately.
It's suddenly 2026. Time goes by so fast. After the hustle and bustle of the city in Tampa, we're staying a couple of nights with Amy's mom and stepdad in Floral City, where it's much more quiet and tranquil.
Let me push you. Your faces are so funny. All right, so typically we don't do dessert before food, but today we're going to Ferris Groves, where we hear there are great strawberry milkshakes. And I mean, who are we to pass up a delicious fresh strawberry milkshake when strawberries are in season in Florida?
Strawberries are in season. It's January.
It's ridiculous, but awesome.
You know it's good when you have a hard time deciding what you're gonna take home.
There's even strawberry salsa, which I've never heard of before, but is about to make my parents really happy. Here we go, moment of truth. Oh yeah, delicious. Can confirm that when you have fresh strawberry shakes, you should eat dessert before you eat lunch. It's just a given. What'd you just say?
Life is short. Travel the world and drink milkshakes.
So apparently this place has some of the best shrimp, and we trust Mike because he knows what he's talking about when it comes to the water.
Several of the local fishermen will bring their catches here. This is the place to get your fresh fish and seafood, and it's on the Gulf, so there's apparently some of the best shrimp in the area that's at this place. So totally unassuming, kind of looks like a dive, but people swear by this kind of food. The fishermen store their buoys and some of the crates for like storing the fish and the shrimp and everything just right outside in the parking lot. It's that fresh.
Oh, thank you.
Cheers to beers. Have some salmon.
Cocktail sauce.
Yeah, the cocktail sauce.
Oh, it's so good.
Mm-hmm.
These are definitely the freshest shrimp ever.
This is better than some lobster.
Oh my gosh, my stomach is so full. I ate so much shrimp. They give you like a homemade cocktail sauce and fresh butter. It's so good. We all like engorged ourselves on the shrimp.
Yeah, I love that every different part of Florida has something unique to offer, and this one has these really local fish places. And being on the Gulf side means that we have different fish than what you get on the Atlantic.
Yeah, and check out these views. Just beautiful.
There's all kinds of little public boat access points and all sorts of waterways all over like this part of Florida. So really, if you are into water of any kind, whether that's out on ski-doos like this or kayaks or paddle boarding or boating, this is a great place to come. There's an endless amount of things you can do out here, and free music apparently. Sometimes when you're in Florida, you dunk your iPhone cable into an old piña colada and you have to come and get a new one.
You're rude. Amy and Zach had to do the portage of shame with their kayaks, and now I am doing the cordage of shame. Well, we spent the afternoon just hanging out and taking in all that this area has to offer. And if you've been watching our videos and you saw our 2024 recap travel video, Phil mentioned getting to talk to a native Floridian, and that is actually who we're here visiting. So we were talking to Mike about his experience growing up in this area. And it's just so cool to learn so much about like these swamps and these small communities and the people who were born and raised in Florida and who actually still live here too.
Yeah, there's a kind of unique history that only people who've been in a place for a really long time will know about that place, and being in a place that you can kind of see the changes through the years is something that's really special.
The cities in Florida are great and absolutely beautiful. The beaches are really beautiful, but if you ever have an opportunity to meet somebody who's from here and check out a small town and get that kind of personalized Floridian experience, it really gives you a new appreciation for the state, I think. Well, that wraps up our time in sunny Florida.
Hopefully you've enjoyed coming along with us to explore some new things.
And before we hit the road, we had to make one last stop for more milkshakes at Ferris Grove.
When there's a good thing, you gotta take advantage of it. And I think that has been our experience here in Florida.
Absolutely. We've made our way throughout the whole Sunshine State and explored a few off the beaten path places. If you enjoyed it, subscribe to our channel and follow along on our adventures.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
If you're wondering where your electric scooters end up, apparently covered in barnacles. I wish I had gotten that on video.
Oh my gosh, I just tripped and my leg like locked up and it was like the most slow motion. I didn't fall, but like the most slow motion stumble ever. I am very American, I know, and I love a good cobblestone street, but do watch out sometimes.
We're gonna stumble our way over to Columbia Restaurant.
Usually it's Phil that trips.
That's rude.
Look at this proud look. That is so rude. Okay, that is rude, Philip. We're Dev and Phil. We are not Dev and Philip because he's being mean.
We could make a loop though.
That's inappropriate.